Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Sitting next to me is Mike Brenner. We are continuing our coverage of the divisions of the NFL. Today is July 7th, and we're taking a look right now at the NFC West. Mike Brenner, a two-horse race, huge rivalry between Seattle and Arizona, and then, of course, the Rams and the Niners way behind. As of right now, the Seahawks are a pretty significant favorite, actually, considering how closely matched the two teams appear to be on paper. They're minus 115 to win the NFC West. Arizona plus 165, and I see these two teams as inverse of one another. I see the Seahawks as having a great strength at quarterback with Russell Wilson, but questions around the rest of the team. I don't mean questions as whether they're going to be competent. I mean questions whether they're going to be elite. And the Arizona, kind of the inverse of that. They have awesomeness everywhere. Some questions, though, at quarterback with Carson Palmer, mostly surrounding his health. I don't think there's questions whether if he's fully healthy, but the question is, will he be able to be healthy the whole year long?
And being another year older, too, Pete.
So, I mean, considering those two factors, if they're inverses, I think I'd rather have the Cards at plus 165.
Wow.
I mean, the Seahawks have some issues. They have real issues on the offensive line. Last year, they were able to deal with it, but once again, the offensive line looks like it's going to be weak. The defense should be good, but getting a year older, the question is just how much will Russell Wilson be able to carry this team on his back? What do you think?
Pistol Pete. Well, he did just get married the other day to that Sierra. God, she's fine looking, by the way, with all due respect. I don't know. I'm the other way on this one, Pete. I think Seattle is going to just piggyback off of what they did last year. I think they really gained some confidence back as a team. You're right, though. There is some issues they got to look at. Obviously, the running back with Marshawn Lynch gone. You've got Lockett that retired as far as wide receiver. Now, one weapon they do have back is Jimmy Graham. They didn't have him last year.
I don't think any of that is the issue. Lynch retiring, sure.
Okay, well, the defense you think is getting a year older still.
The offensive line.
The offensive line. But guess what? You still have that guy. What is that guy's name? Pete Carroll, buddy. As long as he's coaching, he can plug holes. He is absolutely just like Belichick in my eyes. All right. I think this team, I think it's a one-horse race, Pete. I do. And I love Bruce Arians, no disrespect, but that Cardinals team is definitely a team that's gotten older, and I think they're going to feel the effect more.
Well, the offensive line was weak last year, and they were able to get it done last year, so it didn't really matter last year. And then Arizona on the other side, it's just they look so stacked. The defense is improved, and they've got
their defense will carry them. I don't look for their offense to be as explosive. Larry Fitzgerald's getting older. They have some running back questions.
David Johnson had a great rookie season. He's going to be a year old.
Is he going to piggyback it again?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll have a sophomore slump.
That's what I'm saying. So that has to be determined.
Or maybe he'll be with a year older and a year more poised. He'd be even better.
Could be. And they're going to rely on him more this year. I think he's going to get more runs, obviously, because Palmer's not going to want to be chucking the ball down the field too much. But I don't know, Pistol Pete. I think injuries really plays heavy into that. What are your thoughts on wide receivers? Fitzgerald slowed down?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, yes. Obviously, I'm much higher on the defense here than on the offense. The offense is probably going to be, top
you know what? It is a two-horse race. I'm back in the two-horse race.
The offense should be top half of the league, if not top 10. But it's the defense that's just they were big and bad, and they got even better, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would at the current odds, I would have to take the Cards at plus 165. Although certainly the issues on offense, and if Palmer goes down, it's a whole different ballgame. So I guess we're going to agree to disagree. I'll take the Cards at plus 165. You're going to take the Seahawks at minus 115 to win the NFC West? Okay.
Absolutely. What's interesting, though, is the coaches in this conference. You got Arians, you got Carroll, Fisher, and Kelly.
Yeah.
Very interesting, Now, the Rams, people are saying look out, but they just moved back to Los Angeles. You got Todd Gurley, but I'm concerned about their quarterback. You got Case Keenum, and you got Foles, and, of course, they drafted, I forget his name. Yeah, exactly. But they got a suspect defense, Pete. They can get hammered and let up a bunch of points. So, I don't know. I'm not sold on the Rams or 49ers being any kind of dark horse because I don't think it can happen.
No, I don't think so either. But as far as a possible betting value on or against, do you think that either the Rams or Niners might actually be undervalued or overvalued? I'm thinking that the Niners might be, as bad as people are expecting them to be, might be overvalued.
You think
overvalued? I mean,
the
problem is, it's a question. They have a very, very young team.
They do.
So that could go either way. They could have a young team that really gets beat. I think the Niners early on will probably be a good bet against, and then might start to become a good bet on later on in the season.
Okay, let me ask you this, because a lot of people forgot when Kelly took over Philadelphia. You remember how quick he turned them into competitors? Bottom line, even though he left that team in a mess, I think he has enough talent in San Francisco to maybe make this team a little more competitive than people think. So I'm going to be watching that closely.
Yeah, we'll see. My forecast for the night, because they're so young, we do see this a lot more so in college sports, but in pro sports as well, that young teams tend to be, they make rapid improvements at the ends of season. So I would look to fade the Niners in the early going and maybe, and then after they start losing a bunch of games and then start getting a ton of blind disrespect, then you start to look to bet on them later on in the year. All right. And then as far as line value with Arizona and Seattle, I mean, everyone knows they're great, so they're probably going to be appropriately valued overall.
I think they will be. Now, I will probably look to fade Arizona a little early on. I think it's going to take Carson Palmer a little bit to get going this year. So I think offense might slip a little. So I might be doing some unders on that, maybe even fading them. I don't know, Pistol Pete.
All right, Mike Brenner, that's it for the NFC West. And tune in for our division and conference coverage in other videos coming up very soon.
Let's kick it off.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.